What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna be looking at My Dangerous Boyfriend animated story, man.
Sonny Daniel Enterprises. Bad things. There's a lot of bad things that they wish and 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 they got plans, got plans, got plans, got plans.
Let me know in the comments if y'all want me to keep doing these, because they are lightweight interesting. So let's get into the video.
I'm Veronica, and I grew up in Mexico. My family had always been poor, and one day, we decided to move to the US for a better life.
For a good American dream.
But once we arrived, things only got harder. My mom couldn't find a job, so my sister and I were practically homeless. In a last attempt, I decided to find a boyfriend or some kind of man that could support us financially.
So you wanted to become a hoe?
I was 21 and rather good looking. I bought a short dress and some high heels. Then I went to the most exclusive...
This is kind of crazy because, like, you see girls that do this, but you never really get their backstory. You just kind of see them as, like, they out here. But, like, is this where it starts? They just be like, yo, I need some money. I need to go find me a sugar daddy, like, ASAP. Let me go out here, give me some shoes, give me a dress, and go pick up a... Like, that's kind of crazy.
I bought a short dress and some high heels.
Where I get a sugar mama from is the real question.
Then I went to the most exclusive bar in our city. A lot of weird guys approached me, and I was willing to say yes to any of them. But, of course, I wanted to see just how well I could do.
Hey.
There was one guy in the corner sitting right next to an extremely beautiful girl. He was holding her in his muscular arms, and his face was so damn handsome. I normally wouldn't do such things, but
The animation, bruh. The animation is lit.
I just sat next to him and interrupted his conversation with the other beautiful girl.
Damn.
I said, "Hey, my name is Veronica. You're very handsome."
So basically, she ain't know nothing about this man or nothing about the other ones, but the fact that he was sitting with a baddie on the couch, she was like, yo, I'm gonna go steal him from her. See, fellas, that show you right there. You not desirable unless you're desired. You see what I'm saying? Fun fact. The more desired you are, the more desirable you will be. You understand? See, that's wisdom right there. So I'm spitting knowledge to y'all right now. And I'm not even lying. Think about it. Celebrities, extremely desired people. Think about how desirable they are because they're who they are. See? It ain't because of the way they look. It's just because they famous. 99% of the time.
He turned to me and said, "You look good too." I could see he was a playboy. He had been with many girls, and the way he stared into my eyes told me he was dangerous. The other girl got jealous and tried to get his attention back.
Yo, this lightweight me as hell. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll be on that bullshit, bruh.
But he pushed her down the couch to make more space for me.
Damn.
Then I realized just how muscular and strong he was. He put his big arms around me. If he wanted, he could have hurt me so easily.
Yo, she act like she wanted him to hurt her though. Like,
Around
what?
me. If he wanted, he could have hurt me so easily. But I'd never felt more attached to a guy. I leaned over to him to try and kiss him, but he pushed me away and said, "You think you can have me that easily?" I
See?
said, "I will do anything to please you."
See, fellas, this is what I'm talking about, man. You gotta be desirable, bruh. See, I learned this a long time ago, y'all. This is, you know what I'm saying? To be honest, it took time. It honestly didn't come from no OGs or nothing like that. You gotta learn it on your own. You gotta find your way. But once you find your way, it's hard. It's hard, bruh. It's hard for them, man. They can't resist the kid. That's what you saying right here.
And he responded, "Will you?" He pressed me against his big body. I was so small compared to him. After we left the bar, I followed him to his car. I wasn't sure if I should go with him. I had just met him, and I saw in his face that he wasn't a pushover. No, he had no problem to hurt someone. And against my instinct, I went home with him. On the ride, he put his big hand upon my leg.
But wasn't she looking for a rich dude? How do you even know this dude is rich?
I was wearing a short dress and his hand went all around my thigh. When we arrived at his home, I realized how rich he was.
Oh, okay.
I asked him what he was doing for a living, and he told me he was a professional athlete. Well, that explained why he was so muscular. And we didn't even make it to the bedroom. We made out right on the living room couch. I
ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. This type of stuff happens all the time, but it's always been real fishy for me personally. Like, you hooking up with a muff, you don't know who they are, what their intentions are. So I would recommend you don't do this. You be desirable and all that, but you definitely want to fish out who you smashing. Because if I was this dude, you got to still keep that mindset when it comes to this too, because just because she fine don't mean you want to go ahead and get that all up in in your crib and had that all up in your life like that. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be smart too. We'll see if he's smart or not.
Loved the way he put his big hand around my neck. It was such a thrill.
Wait, she said she.
I loved the way he put his big hand around my neck. It was such a thrill.
Bruh. I also never realized when I was young how many girls like to be choked. Not hard, but like a little bit. Yeah.
He could have hurt me so easily, but that's what I liked.
Yeah, this girl wanted her ass whooped. That's what she want. She want to get beat.
The next morning I woke up. I asked him for his number, but he said this was a one-time thing.
What happened? Like the audio stopped working. Did the audio stop working? What the hell's going on with the video? Bro, the audio on the video stopped working. Oh man, I don't know what the story is. Okay, so we're gonna have to dictate it ourselves. So it was a one-time thing. She like, oh my God, nah. He like, man, but if you want to stay, you can stay. And she like, oh really, I can? He like, yeah, but you know, only for one more night. And she like, all right, I'll do anything for you. So then she stayed again. This time he went ahead and did what he did again. And you know, by smashing, that's what I mean. He woke up, he gave me some money and was like, here you go, buy you something nice. But then she started to worry, was she good enough, because he was an athlete and she might be pregnant, or she is pregnant. She had a baby. Now she has a little kid, so that she had to
visit him. You know?
Is the audio back? Nah. Bonus story.
Hey, I'm Anika, and until the age of 17, I had a perfectly normal life. I was pretty, good and...
It almost seemed like the other one worked out fine. She had a baby and they moved in together and everything was cool.
And in a happy relationship with my boyfriend Lewis. Well, at least that's what I thought, because one night, everything changed. I was on my way back home from ballet practice when a guy ran up to me.
Y'all want to rock the hottest merch in the game? Well, go over to SonnyDaniel.com/shop, man, where you can get all the new merch that I drop. I got hoodies, t-shirts, pillows, phone cases coming, lanyards, all kind of stuff, man. So go over to SonnyDaniel.com/shop, get the hottest merch, man. I got it on right now because it's just so fly. Also, if you want my uncensored sim videos, you want access to all my content before it hits YouTube, and some content that never hits YouTube that's strictly exclusive, you gotta go over to the Patreon account, man. It's only $2.99 a month. That's 10 cents a day. That's damn near free. And I got a Discord now, man. Shout out to my homie Freedom. He set up a Discord for me so we can go over there. We can post memes, we can post girls, we can post all kind of stuff. Let's get back into the video.
And threw a bucket full of liquid on my face. At first, I thought it was a prank, but then my face started to burn more and more until I blacked out. When I woke up again, everything was dark. I thought the lights were off, but something was different. My whole upper body was hurting, and when I touched my face, I couldn't feel my eyes or nose. My whole face felt like an old margarita pizza.
Damn, he threw acid on her?
And all I had left was my mouth to breathe through. I felt like I was trapped in a nightmare. No light, no face. I wanted to cry, but I had no eyes. So instead, I said, where am I?
How does that even work? If you don't have eyes, can you still cry? I just never thought of that before.
Where am I? It was hard to speak without lips, but fortunately, my right ear still worked. So I heard my mom when she said, you're alive. Oh, my love, what have they done to you? She was crying and hugging me. After she calmed down, she told me that someone had thrown acid in my face, and it had burned away my eyes, my nose, and lips.
Damn.
So it wasn't a nightmare.
Why would her mother hand her a mirror, though? It's kind of crude, don't you think?
My face was really gone. But why would anyone do this to me?
That's rough.
I'd always been a very friendly girl, and even when my classmates made fun of me, saying I wasn't smart, I never talked back. I just don't like conflict. But my anger quickly turned to shame when my boyfriend came to my hospital bed. Even though I couldn't see, I knew how ugly I must have looked to him. He asked me, how are you? But it didn't even sound like he was worried about me. I could even hear a bit of disgust in his voice. It felt like he had only come to visit me because it was his duty as my boyfriend, because after just a few minutes, he left again. I never felt so bad before, and this time, I was able to cry. I could feel that somewhere under my skin, tears were forming. The day the police came to visit me, they wanted me to describe what happened, and they asked if I had any enemies or if someone had threatened me. I told them I couldn't think of anyone, but 2 years earlier, one of my old classmates had threatened me saying, be careful or I'll throw acid on you. But that was...
That's random as hell. Of course, that would be my first person I thought about.
Old classmates had threatened me saying, be careful or I'll throw acid on you. But that was 2 years ago, and I never took it seriously. That girl had been jealous of me because I was in a relationship with Lewis. I knew that in my city of London, acid attacks were common within the Black and Muslim community, but I'm 100% white, and my parents are of Irish descent. After a month of investigation...
What? Is that real?
100% white, and my parents are of Irish descent. After a month of investigation, the police found out what happened. They figured out that my old classmate who had threatened me 2 years before had an affair with my boyfriend Lewis behind my back. But because he didn't want to break up with me, she paid her cousin £200 to throw acid in my face.
Damn.
The police found the exact same acid that was thrown on me on her cousin's clothes. The police also took GPS data from his phone that showed he was very close to me on the night of the accident. The trial went on for several months. When the cousin was asked if he wanted to apologize to me, he started crying and said he was so sorry, but you could hear in his voice that he was only acting. He came up with one excuse after the other for why he'd thrown acid on me. He even said his parents had never loved him, and he needed the £200 his cousin gave him to—
Bruh, there's no excuse for that. You gotta lock this man up for a long time, man. There's no excuse for doing that.
pay off his debts. Listening to his excuses disgusted me, and even the judge told him to shut up because no one wanted to hear his lies anymore. In the end, both of them got 20-year prison sentences.
Yeah, that's about right.
But to be honest, I'm not sure if that's fair considering they've ruined my face for the rest of my life.
True.
And if they behave well in prison, they might get out much earlier. I recently visited my former classmate in prison, the one who had ordered the acid attack. Of course, it was weird meeting her. I had no eyes to look at her directly, so all we could do was talk. I asked why she had done it, and she explained that she had always envied my beauty. She said it broke her heart when me and Lewis became a couple, and the only way to take him away from me was to destroy my beauty. At last, I asked her if she regretted what she had done, and she immediately said yes, because now she would have to spend the best years of her life inside prison. That's when I realized that some people truly only care about themselves.
She
didn't apologize or anything. She only regretted being caught for her crime. I gotta be honest, I still sometimes get angry about what happened to me. It was such a senseless crime where everybody involved lost. The hardest part is that I'll probably never find another boyfriend. After what happened to my face, my now ex-boyfriend Lewis cut off all contact with me. And I gotta admit that this hurt even more than the acid attack, but it won't stop me from living the good life. My parents recently bought me a guide dog, and to be honest, I like him even more than I liked my ex-boyfriend. And even without a boyfriend, I can still get pregnant using a sperm donor and have my own kids. I just hope that in a few decades—
Well, that's a weird twist. I mean, why would you do that? Why don't you just date other people? You know what I'm saying?
Still get pregnant using a sperm donor and have my own kids. I just hope that in a few decades, technology will advance far enough that my doctors can fix my eyes and face again. But luckily, there are many jobs for blind people like me. Right now, I'm working as a call center agent during the day, and I've also started practicing DJing as a new hobby. I guess all of us face tragedies and evil in our lives. And even though it wasn't my fault that someone threw acid in my face, it would be my fault if I let it make me become bitter and resentful. That's why I'm not calling for retribution.
That's crazy.
But for more police and harsher punishments to prevent this senseless violence. Because right now, acid attacks here in the UK are on the rise, and some of the victims are less than 10 years old. Thank you for listening to my story, and let me know in the comments how you would deal with losing your face and become—
Man, that's crazy, man. The first story wasn't that crazy. It was more funny and like crazy, but that one was kind of like sad. Well, that's it for the video, man. I hope y'all enjoy these type of videos. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you want me to keep doing them, because they are kind of interesting. Like, they kind of suck you in. So I don't know, let me know in the comments. Love y'all. Peace.